and gentlemen. They say when you want to know someone, live with them. But I say when you want to know yourself, live with a friend. My name is Faith Peter, and I am a life coach with over 5 years experience. And today I would like to talk about three lessons rather, I learned when living with my friend. In the year 2020, a friend of mine reached out to me that she wanted to stay with me for the duration of her National Youth Service program. And at first, I was so excited, you know, assuming that I was going to experience just fun, create memories. We even talked about how we're going to tell stories to our children of the experiences we built together, the memories we built together while living together. And honestly, nothing prepared me for the lessons I learned. The lessons that followed the experience, nothing prepared me for it. And it all started when she came between, I think, around 6 to 8 weeks. That's, let's say, roughly 2 months. I was so intentional about doing all the chores, cooking, making her feel very comfortable. I didn't want her to do anything. I had to balance work life and also balance taking responsibility of my friend. Mind you, she had a business running for her at her then, so she was not broke. So it was not like I was obligated to take on full responsibilities for my friend. But I just decided, since I was already ahead in my career professionally, that I should just take on the responsibility. Down the line, after 2 months, it became overwhelming. I became exhausted, and it got to me to the extent that there became a strain in the house. So even when I get back from work, I could not explain why I was resenting my friend. She also felt the strain but did not communicate. So we both were just living in a moment that we did not prepare for. And the thing that pained me most was the fact that we did not communicate to each other. And that brings me to my first lesson when we were together, and that's communication. So I got to realize over time when I spoke to a few friends that, communication is key. And when you live with someone, whether it be it your family, friend, or even if you're interacting, you have a relationship with someone, your colleagues, that you have to be intentional about communicating with someone. People will not fix what they don't know. They are not going to change what they are not aware of that needs a change. So when we started communicating, when I had to sit her down and have a conversation around what was the challenge, how we could do things better, I realized that the strain, the tension that was in the air reduced. My second lesson was patience. Yeah, patience. So where I realized that living with my friend made me develop more patience, because I had to understand that she's a different personality, and being different does not make her wrong. Being different, just it's okay for everybody to be different, and just trying to understand that, okay, we see things from a different perspective. Having a cup at a particular position, and you think it's okay, but this other person might think the best position is in another position. So when I understood that, okay, being patient with my friend was going to make our relationship thrive, it helped, because at that point now I wasn't expecting too much. I just tried as much as possible to understand things from her own point of view. And then the last lesson I would like to share with us is the lesson about responsibility. So one of the last lesson I would like to share, I just want to stop there today, is responsibility. So I think the experience made me see the how, okay, I won't say how our parents, how older siblings take on responsibilities for us and what they go through. Because I wasn't just responsible for the first 2 months. I wasn't just responsible for myself alone now. I was responsible for my friend. I had to pay bills more than the usual. I had to cook. I had to plan ahead and also balance work with this responsibility. So it just made me understand that love isn't just in words, but in sacrifices. And I would just like to say that the experience was not easy. Honestly, it was not easy, but it was worth it, because it not just made me understand my friend's personality, but it also made me understand my own personality, and I got to understand what works for me as an individual. So I knew that, okay, when next I had someone coming over to stay with me, I was going to be intentional about communicating with that person on how things operate in my own space, because I don't do well in a chaotic environment. And I would just like to summarize by saying, during this period, during that period rather, I learned that communication builds peace. When you communicate, you become more at peace. I learned that responsibility builds character. And I also learned that patience builds understanding. And so I would like to say, if you ever have the opportunity to live with someone, do not just expect comfort. Trust me, do not just expect comfort, but expect growth. And expect growth. And you never can tell. Our biggest lessons are learned from people who are closest to us, and we can only experience them by being around them.